Okay, everybody, how's it going? Welcome. It's time. Happy weekend, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna do some hauling today, I guess. It's you know, it was between this and sitting in the old dream shop while I get some work done on the other screen. I decided to go ahead and do this. I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time starting next week to do a whole lot of hauling and gaming in general. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get in as much as we can while I can. But I've got the next couple days off, so we're gonna try and enjoy it and go from there. But howdy, yeah, how's your weekend going? Hope it's going good. So yeah, today was the last day at my old job, and beginning Tuesday, I will be beginning the new job. So yeah, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be an adjustment. I think the biggest adjustment isn't just like the type of work. It's going to be the hours, going from like 8 hours a week to 8 hours a shift. Yeah, I'm not going to like that much, but you know, it is what it is. So that's what we're going to be working around. But I've said it a billion times on stream. I'm going to continue doing this as much as we can, and if anything, maybe this will motivate me to work even harder at the streams to try and escape whatever new hellhole I just opened for myself, right? It wouldn't be my life if it wasn't just constantly stepping on rakes, right? But that being said, I am kind of excited about it. I'm excited about the paycheck. You know, I was looking at the old bank account the other day, and yeah, between all of the bills and just general life things like food, I've lost a lot of money just working the job that I just left, right? It just couldn't keep up with the bills. You know, it wasn't bringing in as much as I had to spend just on monthly bills and stuff and food. So yeah, you know, I talk about, you know, I mention a lot that I don't really buy things, right? Most of the things that I buy are things that I consider investments for this stream, right? Like, you know, I bought the full license for Live 2D, which is not cheap. I mean, it's cheaper than like Adobe or whatever, but it's still not like cheap. In my terms, but that's like an investment for the stream, right? And obviously we did all of like the magic card openings, that kind of thing. That's probably the only thing that I bought that was just like for me for a while, and a lot of that was money that had been saved up in a separate account. So you know, it wasn't really affecting the actual like daily, my actual daily, how much can I live on kind of money, right? And yeah, this the job that I just left, it was not paying enough for me to actually pay my bills. So you know, it's time to switch it up. So in that regard, I am pretty excited, and we'll kind of go from there. But you know, obviously this is what I want to be doing, right? This is what I want to be doing, and you know, I think we've come a long way. So thanks to everyone that's been sticking with me through it and watching the channel grow, and we're going to continue to grow and keep doing our thing. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's not quite there yet, but you know, I keep saying that my bar to stream full time is not very high. Like, I basically just want to make what I'm making in retail just through streaming. So yeah, that just kind of gives you an idea The bar is not high. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing it, keep doing our thing, and kind of go from there. But yeah, I was just getting some emails just last week that were kind of surprising to me. You know, as a partner, we get emails sometimes, and sometimes they're about like, hey, here's some cool stuff we're gonna give you or whatever. You know, here's some things to improve your channel. Here's some nice gifts or whatever. But now that we're ending the end of the year, you know, some of it's been like stat stuff. And one of them that kind of surprised me is that I am in the top 30% in terms of just like the amount of content. I apparently have contributed more videos than 70% of YouTube. So, okay, that's cool. I really didn't expect it, but it just kind of goes to show how much the VTuber thing has really kind of changed the channel for the better, and you know, keeps us going quite a bit. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna continue doing it as long as I can. All right, let's get out of here. So for this surface port, I hate surface ports so much. I hate doing these. But I still need a system that can make CMMs. So that's kind of like the current project, right? But it is a cool system. I gotta say, it is a very cool system. It's one of the hip systems. So we'll get down there in a little bit. I'll kind of explain all that after our welcome, right? But yeah, like I was saying, it was kind of surprising. So yeah, I think it just kind of goes to show that everything is still on track. It's just, you know, it's slow going. It is what it is. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that still stops by and, you know, just comes to hang out for a little bit and helps grow the channel and tries to make sure that everyone that comes in has a good time. So, you know, I appreciate you all, and I hope you're enjoying these goofy little shows that I do a couple times a week, right? Yeah. I genuinely wasn't surprising it. It's like, man, I'm putting out all this content, so can I get paid for it? Like, you know, I get a little bit. I get like maybe $100 a year, you know, for that old ad rev, right? Just to kind of peek behind the curtain about what it's like being a YouTube partner. It's not great. Not unless you're like way up there, right? But you know, it is progress, little bit by little bit, baby steps, as long as we can. But yeah, as always, you know, you can help out and like, subscribe, all that. There's a lot of things that are free. So yeah. With that being said, you know, we're gonna do Elite Dangerous tonight. As I was saying at the beginning, I really wasn't sure what to do tonight, but I do want to try getting this thing done over the next day or so, and just kind of see how things are going from there. I was talking with my squadron the other night, and a lot of them are really focused on building up their systems, but you know, we've built up a lot. We have a lot of systems. It just comes from being such a big squadron with a big player-made faction to go along with it, right? But they're really focused on building and trying to get like population numbers and stuff. Like, we know we're not going to compete with the people making these huge long chains in terms of distance or number of systems. But for me, I like the distance. I like trying to get out there, right? And it's kind of hard for me to build up some of these things because I keep wanting to move on to the next thing, right? I feel like I've done a pretty good job with building out some of these. We've seen quite a few cool systems here. I showed off a little bit about the last two big ones that I was working on, but I never quite complete them. Right? Never quite like fill up every construction site, or like wait until I get all of the materials manufactured that I can make and all of that. So yeah, I think on this one, I do need to kind of bear down and work on the CMM composites, try getting those made. But yeah, I keep wanting to move on to some other stuff, and like already I'm like, I'm not even like halfway through the surface port, and I'm already kind of like looking at other systems that are in range. Like, what can I get? What can I start aiming towards next? And it's just the explorer in me. I mean, you guys that watch the VODs know how much I go out into the black, so it's like, and but if I don't do it now, then someone else will come in and get it. It's like, I don't know. Even though it's slowed down quite a bit. They did release some numbers the other night. I guess we're up to about 70,000 colonized systems, which is kind of nuts to think about. Like, we've literally tripled the size of the bubble. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's neat. But most of it is still within like a 300 light year range of Sol. There's not too many that have gone like out there. Most of the ones that have are like the big projects from either the Mercs and Macoun trying to get up to the Lagoon Nebula, or like Cannon Research going down there to like the southwest. So yeah, the grand majority of people are still kind of within the bounds of the traditional bubble. I'm a little bit farther out there. I don't know if I'm within that 300 light year range or not, but you know, we're out past Coalsack at this point. So yeah, we've made a decent distance out there. It's still not nearly as far as some of our neighbors, but I feel like we're doing a pretty good job. And once I can actually get a couple of these systems built up and hopefully manufacturing most of the materials that I need, then I can, you know, really start chaining out and just kind of aiming for the cool stuff. Or who knows, maybe I'll just wait for Macoun to finish their trip up to the lagoon and then just kind of branch off from them. Yeah, I don't want to do it because then I'm gonna have to do a lot of power play stuff to try and get get my faction back into the lead again. And I already put in a lot of work doing that in our current area. But you know, I'll do it if I have to. It's not like that's not the majority of what we spent our time doing as it is. So I guess it'd just be par for the course. It's just I'm so impatient. I'm so impatient. And I don't want anyone else branching off until I've done that. Like if they want to use one of my systems to like snipe other systems nearby, I'm cool with that. Just, you know, just wait until I have my player made faction as the lead to do it. And then spread the good word of Frog all around the rest of the galaxy. That's fine. Just, you know, give me a couple weeks to get that situated first. Then you can use my systems all you want to steal others. I'm cool with that. But I do want to get out there. Once we start taking a trip, I do need to take a look. They were getting pretty close. They really slowed down the past couple of weeks. I thought that they were going to be able to get there and like finish out their chain within like the past couple of weekends, but it's been slow going. And I don't know what they're doing up there. Mercs and Macoun system, I mean, towards the lagoon. They're like right within striking distance. But then it just like stopped the past week or so. Yeah, and I don't really know why, because it feels like, you know, I was looking up and down the chain a little bit. They've got quite a few systems with some decent pop. So I'm guessing they have been backfilling and trying to get enough systems built up that they can use those to make materials. But I don't know what exactly is slowing them down now that they're getting close. Let's take a look now that we're on our auto landing. 'Cause yeah, they were only like 500 out. They're so close. Yeah. You can kind of see the remnants of the system there. Okay, let's get in here. Yeah, so this is where their trail ends. Right here. Like I was saying, like you can tell they're so close. I don't know what direction they're going with it. I don't know which of these are going to be like the main branch off. Yeah, they're so close to Lagoon. So close. I don't think they've got another trail down here. Now, it is a lot of NGC sectors. I'm kind of wondering if some of these aren't permit locked. They shouldn't be, because they're listed as available for colonization. So, yeah, I don't know. So I mean, they're getting up there. It's slow progress, but I feel like if they get that last stretch done, get a couple of those squadron carriers built and filled out, I think they're going to be able to do it here pretty soon. I mean, look at that, 231 million. That's got to be like their main market within this area, and that's not too big of a jump. They can make that in their FCs easily to get these other ones built out a little bit. What do we got there? 5 days. Yeah, so that one's been up for like 3 days. Oh, so someone started with a big boy. Okay. Maybe that's why it's taking them so long. That one's just a regular outpost. Same there. So those could be. I'm curious what's going on with their directions here. But you know, they probably got it all mathed out and all of that. I don't want to judge them for whatever they're doing. They clearly have a plan. I'm just trying to figure it out. It's just an innocent bystander, right? But yeah, I think they'll do it soonish. If they can just if they can just get to hauling. It's probably the emergency power cells. You don't really need it for outposts, so I don't know. Yeah, going onto the Gal map still, it really chugs. I don't know what they broke the past couple of patches. It was doing really good for a while, and then yeah, they broke it again. But yeah, go into the Gal map while you're like docked or something like that. Man, it just really chugs the frame rate quite a bit. So hopefully they fixed that. They've fixed it before. They probably just got something rolled back somewhere along the line. All right, let me hit my old spreadsheet there. I'm not gonna worry too much about trying to get a whole lot of like steel and all of that. I've got other things nearby my systems that I can go to for that kind of stuff. I'm at this point I'm just really going here for the CMMs. CMMs loading up on like some additional power cells and some of the small stuff that isn't necessarily like hard to find or not really something you need a ton of. They're just kind of annoying. Things like power generators and that kind of thing. Like, it's easy enough to get them. That's not the problem. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so used to being in the system, right? Because yeah, I'm kind of mad at the Trailblazers. It's they need to be doing something about these parked FCs, just sitting in here parking the entire time and not leaving. It's not too bad at places like Qyuuzy. I'm usually able to get into Qyuuzy, but the problem is Qyuuzy is not Ashling space. And because almost all of the Trailblazers are in stronghold systems now, it gets really annoying having to deal with the power security. Like every time I go to my FC, they start shooting me at my own FC, of course. Why not? And yeah, and then I have to like, you know, lower myself into the hole to get it reset. And then, you know, then go back up, and it just adds a lot of time. Origin is really the only Trailblazer I like going to because it's you know, our space. And yeah, there hasn't been parking for like the past 2 weeks. I think I got like one spot for just a quick little day trip, and that's really all I've been able to get. And yeah, it's been the same FCs. Like I'm looking through the names every time I come in and seeing who's parking, and yeah, it's been the same name. So just people being assholes essentially. People being assholes, or you know, they wanted to check out colonization and then decided to put the game down for another several months before they moved their FC. So yeah, they need to figure out a way to get these things moved. I don't know how. I don't know what mechanics they're going to do it, but it's generally starting to piss me off quite a bit. But you know, thankfully, I'm almost at the point where I'm almost out of range of most of the Trailblazers, so I guess it might be a moot point at some point anyways. That's kind of why I'm trying to get this this port built, I want to see if I can get CMMs. Like, it's just going to be nothing but a pure refinery planet. I don't know if it'll work or not. We're going to try it. I hope so. Being able to delete things is pretty nice. I've cleaned up a couple of things. Most of my systems I'm pretty happy with. I'm not super, I mean, you guys know me. I don't play based on spreadsheets, right? That's not how I do things. So most of the time it's just going with what my heart tells me, and it's been doing all right. I feel like most of it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, oh, you need a refinery for this, and you need extraction for this. So I haven't really messed up anything too much. But there's been a couple that it was either just builds that I knew I was never going to come back and finish, or, you know, I'd accidentally double place something. So it's been kind of nice to clean those up, give me a little bit more leeway on certain things. I think it is kind of funny. You know, the primary port cannot be deleted. So unfortunately, we cannot unclaim systems, which I think is kind of disappointing for a lot of people. But what you can do is if you're having trouble with the BGS and some of the other player-made factions, then you can just delete the bases that are owned by those factions. So, you know, have fun with that. I'm sure that's going to lead to a lot of weird antics in certain systems. I think for the most part, people are just kind of leaving colonies alone. Like, if it's not your colony, don't mess with it. I've had like a few small issues where I guess some of my neighbors have been doing some trading, and it's kind of affected a little bit. You know, it's not a ton. It's like 0.2% every day, but it's just enough that I notice it, and it's getting kind of annoying. So, you know, we might have to play around with that a little bit and make sure that all of the big ports with large pads end up going to my squadron. But aside from that, it seems like people have been fairly chill. But it might help out a little bit with trying to do what I do and like try getting your faction to be, you know, the lead. Might help out a little bit to be able to delete certain settlements and that kind of thing. Kind of shuffle things around a little bit. But yeah, aside from that, I haven't played around with it too much. I know a couple other people in our squadron have, and they seem to really like it. But, you know, we've got a system that basically you can get everything you need except emergency power cells. So, I mean, worst comes to worst, I always have that as an option to go to. It's a little more annoying because I have to hop between like 4 different stations, like 2 surface ports, 2 orbitals. It's much easier just to go to a Trailblazer, just go to one ship for everything, right? Especially with how much I hate doing surface landings. It's like it's one of my least favorite things about hauling, and it really sucks that a couple of these things are only available from surface ports like CMMs. But, you know, in emergency situations, I guess I can do it. It's fine. It's okay. I'll grit my teeth and deal with it. Right now, the only thing that annoys me here is that I have to go around the planet a little bit. And that's it. That's the worst that I need to deal with here. I like Origin because it's so close to the jump-in point. Clickus is a little bit further out. It's a little bit more annoying. Okay. All right. I think that's enough. I think it should be fine. I think I'm out of range. Yeah. Let's take a look. Yep. Yep, it's still a lot of the same old, couple new ones. Yeah, Spaceball's been there. Rest of Stars, I think, has been there a while. Yeah, I'm recognizing a lot of these. I think Blop's new. Okay. It seems like they're moving out a little bit. But yeah, weekend, good luck. Good luck. But there were definitely a lot on that list that that have been there for weeks. I mean, absolutely weeks. And they're either waiting for other people to fill up their carrier for them because of buy orders and stuff. Or like I said, they're not logging in. They parked it and left. All right. So how many more CMM runs do I gotta do? I think I only need 2 more, and then it's like a few small things here and there. I would like to go ahead and round out all of the small stuff before I head back. The steel, titanium, aluminum, it's fine. I've got other stations I can go to for that. I'm glad that they did make it very easy to get steel and titanium made. All right. But yeah, I hope you guys are liking the new update. I've heard good things about the Type 11. I was heavily debating purchasing it before the stream and maybe doing a little bit with the T11 stuff. And I mean, we still can. I mean, I guess it won't hurt if you guys really want to see me go mining. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. It's not the kind of thing that like I think I want to spend real life money on right now. But now that now that I've got the new gig, it's not as big of a deal if I need to drop, $13 or whatever. And it seems like it is really good if you do like mining. With the current CG going on, like I'm not opposed to doing it because it is a lot of money. It is a lot of money if you turn into the current CG. Probably not as much as I think some people were hoping, but it's still a fair amount. And yeah, it seems like the Type 11 is about what, like 3 to 4 times faster than the traditional mining, which is kind of nuts. I did my part in the CG. I did, dropped off 200 tons, gave me 70 million or whatever. But that was in my old, in my cutter, my old laser cutter. CGV O'Brien, not just a hero, he's a union man, right? And it was okay, but it does take a long time. But then, yeah, I'm seeing people are like, yeah, I filled up my hold in like 30 minutes. Like, okay, maybe I should just drop $13 on it, play around with it. Just how much am I really gonna use it, right? Like, I don't mind mining. I think it can be kind of fun. And, if you're doing power play stuff or there's a big CG like this, it can be a good moneymaker. But in terms of money, like most of the time, I'm an explorer. So, once we figure out what's going on with this Halloween event, I'm probably going to be doing another trip out in the black. And, like, as good as mining can be with the T11, it's not going to beat exobiology, right? So yeah, do I really want to spend the money on it? I don't know. I don't really know. Probably not. But knowing me, I'll probably end up doing it anyways. Just, it's for the content, right? And the more I look at it, it does look pretty cool. I wasn't sold on the design at first, but, without Frontier Unlocked being a thing, I hadn't really seen it in motion. But yeah, it is really cool with the flexible thrusters and stuff. It looks a lot neater actually in game than I thought. Not the $60 for runway lights neat. But that's fine. I've seen some other people with it. I'm kind of surprised that people were willing to do that, but when you actually like add it all up, I guess it's really not bad. It's like 13 for the ship, and then you get the ship kit, which is, another 15 or whatever. I think of it in terms of like glamours in FF14, right? Like a decent costume is 15 to 20 bucks. Or like a mount, I can be 25 in other MMOs. So it's like, I guess once you like take into account the fact that you are unlocking the ship for early access, plus the kit, the $30 for a skin it's a little steep, but it's not so far out of line with other MMOs as I think a lot of people were complaining about. It's hard to tell because they only sell it in that bundle, right? I wish they kind of sold some of these things as their own individual stuff too, so that, you know, it'd give us a little bit better of an idea. But no, for me, I just buy the standard. I have heard that the Stellar kit is really nice, though. The medium tier one. I guess that the loadout that they have on it really is kind of unlike the other ones, unlike the other starter ones that we've seen. This one's actually kitted out correctly, and yeah, you don't really need to go buy anything else for it. Maybe do some engineering on it if you want, but I just word on the street. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. I've just been too busy with this. I've been too busy. I was checking my squadron leaderboard the other day, and I'm still currently #1 in our squadron for system colonization for the rankings. And I'm at like 700,000 units or something like that. It's been a lot of hauling. It's been a lot of hauling. And the crazy part is none of that is a T3. None of that is a giant orbital or anything like that. It's just been nothing but small bases, small settlements, and like I did build an asteroid base and a Coriolis. That's it. That's all it's been. None of it has been like an Orbis or anything like that. I've got a couple down if I want to start working on them. But yeah, that 700,000 is just entirely just building out some of these systems and trying to get some things built. All right, get me out of here. Yeah, once I set my fleet carrier to jump, then I'll hop in. I guess I can hop in my Mandalay and do it. And yeah, I'll go show you guys how the rest of the systems have been built out. And it's been doing okay. My one experiment, I have one system that's nothing but it's like a tourism based system, right? I've been trying to see if I can get a tourism asteroid base, and so far it hasn't worked. Right now it is currently dual extraction tourism. I don't know if you can flip it completely. It's tough because asteroid bases are by default extraction. So I don't know if you can flip it, but I'm trying. I'm trying to do my best. Trying to make something cool. All right. Get around here. But yeah, they've been doing all right. The crazy thing is the Earth-like world system that I was working on, that one has an actual tourism base, and it's actually not even my tourist system. And the wildest thing is that like I haven't done anything in it really. I need to work on building it out a little bit. I'm trying to make it high tech. I still have a little bit of a gap in trying to get some high tech stuff built. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. But the main base is the tourism Coriolis, and it is really cool. So yeah, we'll go and check that out. And then after that, I don't know. After I get this current wave done, there's a few other systems kind of in range that I wouldn't mind checking out, but it's also, am I going to have the time to do it? Do I want to put in the work to do it? It's been so much. Oh, it's so much. And it's like, I wouldn't even say that I enjoy it. It's just that it's really the only thing I have to do right now, right? Like, I would like to do other things in the game, but I'm not going to go leave the bubble when they've been teasing this big event or whatever it is for the past month. And like, I want to know what it is, because every time I go out into the bubble, they end up dropping another cool event, and it ends up being something that I really want. And I don't want that to happen this time. So I hope whatever they're planning, whether it's the final new feature of the year, and it has something to do with exobiology, or if it's just a Halloween event, You get a couple free skins, whatever it happens to be. I hope they start it soon so that I can move out and go do some other stuff. Like if it is just going to be ship skins and I don't really like what they look like this year, then I'm just going to go ahead and start heading out. I feel like they've been teasing though that it is something to do with exobiology, and I definitely don't want to make a trip out until I know what all of the new deal is with it, right? If they're adding new plants or something like that, then yeah, I'm gonna stay in the bubble until it's implemented. All right, man, I actually had one more run on the list than I thought I did. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get through it. All right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. Whew, math. My worst enemy. All right. Yeah, we're gonna try streaming the next couple days. Like I said, it was either this or making weird blender porn on the second stream. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll do that later this week. I'll just do a just chatting stream, and now you know. But yeah, it's been a weird week. I mean, not only was it the final week at this old job, but yesterday, man, people were just weird. And everyone that works retail knows what I'm talking about. Like sometimes you get days, and it's usually when you're getting close to a full moon, where the customers are just weird. There's no other way to explain it. You have days where you have a lot of rude customers, right? That's always Sundays. That's always the days when everyone goes to church to hear about how important family is, and then make it blatantly obvious that they hate being with their family every Sunday, right? Yeah, it's different than that. This was just weird. Just weird comments and crazy people out and about. People that are trying to come up 40 minutes after we're closed and pulling on the door so hard that, you know, you can hear it across the parking lot. That's always the thing that gets me, is like, we're obviously closed. You pull on the door and it's locked. And then they like stare at it for a second. And they're like, well, maybe it's stuck. So they just keep pulling on it again. Or they try the other door, right? We had a dude yesterday that had to pick up his mom from another store in the mall. I was like, sorry, man, we're closed. Like, the gate's down. I was like, well, I have to pick up my mom. I was like, man, your time management is not my problem. You got to go through the main entrance. Like, dude was almost about ready to throw punches, man. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, pay attention to the hours. It's not my fault you decided to go move your truck. All right. I think that's the world we're in now. It's gonna be all weird all the time. There's just never gonna be an end to it. But you know, at least now that I'll be on night shift, I don't know. I need to go and buy some self-defense tools. I don't think we're gonna have too much of a problem, but you never really know what kind of people you're gonna get at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? But you know, at the very least, I'll be basically the boss there, and maybe I'll get some fun stories out of it. Who knows? I need to retell the story about me staying as a site warden in an abandoned hospital. I've told it several times here, but I've never made a clip of it. I feel like I should just make a clip of that one and put it on the channel at some point. But yeah, if it's weird situations like that, then you know what? That's fine. It's a shame that where I'm working is too new to have ghosts. It's a newer construction, but it's like at this point in my life, just haunt me. Just lay down behind the desk. Take me away, boys. It's my time. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited. It's still not like a lot of money. It's nowhere near what I wanted to be asking to move to full-time. It's not a career job. They need to pay me about 3 times what they're paying me now for it to be like a career level job for me. But it'll be an interesting new experience. I've never done this kind of job before, and it could be something that, you know, maybe I can swing into a career at some point. But it's not like I'm gonna stop applying elsewhere or auditioning and that kind of thing for the VTuber stuff. So, you know, worst comes to worst, I try sticking it out for a couple weeks and then apply elsewhere, right? But I don't think it'll be a problem. I think I'm gonna like it. You guys know me keeping the real VTuber hours anyways. It's gonna be more just trying to figure out what to do to occupy my time, because it is gonna be a little different, right? I'm usually up all nights and kind of doing my own thing anyways, but I've always got my computer with me. You know, my streamer setup, some streamers use a bunch of laptops and stuff. I've just got the single PC setup. I mean, it's a big ass rig that I've got here. It's a few years old, but it's still, it's a hefty boy. It's not exactly the kind of thing that I can, it's like an old LAN party, just walk into the doors carrying 2 monitors, set them up. I don't know if they would be opposed to me bringing a laptop, and maybe it's something I can invest in if it turns out that I do have enough free time. But like, at least to start, like, I'm not gonna be able to do a lot of the video editing and clips work and working in Blender and working in Live 2D. Like, I'm not gonna have a way to do all of that while I'm there. So, you know, it's gonna be nice being up overnights, kind of doing my own thing, but it's also gonna be not something that I'm gonna be able to get a lot of my usual work done with. So, you know, it's gonna be an experience, be something I have to adjust to. You know, if it turns out that I do have a lot of downtime and like all of my tasks that they want me to do are not too big of an issue, then yeah, you know, maybe I will invest in a laptop and then maybe get a little bit of this Live 2D work done, or who knows, maybe some recording or something like that. My boss seems really cool. I haven't talked to him that much, but you know, I went in the other day to fill out some paperwork and he was like, yeah, man, this is like the dream shift, because you come in, you do your audit and kind of work on that, you clean up a little bit, and then outside of that, you've got usually enough downtime to like work on some studies or whatever you want to do. He's like, this is the shift that if you don't want to be around a lot of people and have a whole lot of stress, this is the shift you want. It's just no one ever takes it because it's literally overnights, right? And like, this is exactly the kind of thing that I was looking for. But it's pretty cool when even your boss comes in and it's like, yeah, man, you're not going to be doing shit on this shift. So, you know, thanks for being here. We hope you like it. Please don't leave us, because we don't want to have to fill this position again. And we don't want to have to bring our managers in for overnights. They don't want to do that. As long as you can keep the building from burning down, we will bend over backwards to keep you here. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't, to be honest, I don't even know what my exact pay rate is. I know what the company starts at, and I think I get a night differential, but it's pretty bad that the job I just left is so bad that literally any job in the area starts at more than I've been making there after 2 years, right? Like, this company that I'm going to their starting pay is like $1.50 more than I'm making at the bookstore after I've been there for 2 years. It's bad. And that's before getting to the night shift pay, right? So yeah. It's gonna be rough. I don't want to pretend it's not gonna be, especially that first week, because they gotta train me on all the day stuff first. So I'm gonna be working like several different days and several different shifts. I'm gonna be starting at like 3 a.m. then like a 7 a.m. shift, and then a 3 p.m. shift, and then I moved to nights. And this first week, you know, I'm going to stream a little bit as I can next week. But starting next Thursday, I think it's next Thursday, I'm working 7 days straight, which I am not going to like. I am not going to have a good time with that. I like my free time. I like being able to do my work here at home and doing my thing with you guys and doing my projects that will hopefully one day pay off. And yeah, that's going out the window. But then after that, it won't be too bad. If I can get through that first couple of weeks, it'll be okay. But it is going to be rough. Those first 7 days. All right. And don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people where that's like the norm, right? And like, I don't want to say like, no, I'm too good to do that, because that is not the case. If I was, I wouldn't be in this situation, right? But it is very much a case of like, you know, I want to get to a position where we're working for ourselves and doing things here for the stream. And working 7 days in a row does not help me do that. How dare I have dreams and want to be my own boss? How dare I? But we'll get it done. We'll bear down. We'll grin. We'll grit our teeth and get through it. And then yeah, after that, you know, the end of the week will be our time together. So after that, the normal shifts are going to be Sunday through Wednesday. So then all of the other days, we'll be able to stream. And the thing is, like, they're normal 8-hour shifts, which is very tiring for me. It's not tiring when I'm working on my own here at home, but it is very tiring when I've got, you know, other people that I'm working for. But it's not like I'm working like 12, 14-hour days or anything like that. So there might still be times where I've got some energy and just feel like streaming after my shift or before my shift. So, you know, we'll play around. But at the very least, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, they'll be available for us to be together. Yeah, there's going to be a lot depending on what my energy's like. I don't know how this job's going to affect me that much. But at the very least, we can block out those days to be like a guaranteed, hey, if you guys want to watch the channel, those are the days you want to pay the most attention to, right? And then anything else is just kind of a bonus day, right? But yeah, I don't know how it's going to affect me. You know, I'm not going to be able to like leave for lunch, and it's not like there's a whole lot open that time of night anyways. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to be bringing for lunch every day. I'm not going to be seeing the sun. So I've got to, I got to go and buy some vitamin D tabs, some capsules and stuff this week, just to make sure I'm staying on top of that. And yeah, health-wise, I don't know. I don't think it'll be all that much different. I'm usually pretty good about making sure I've got something. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of snacks. Probably a lot of Red Bull. Oh, no, I'm a Monster fan. It's all about the white cans of Monster, and just straight black coffee. But you know, that's the other thing, is I'll have some nice perks there as far as like food and drink go. Like, I'm basically in charge of the coffee machine at night, so if I want to make some, I guess I can. I don't know if I'm gonna have to set up for breakfast and all that. I'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm considered full-time or not. It's 32 hours a week, so I guess we'll see. But if I am, I get some. It seems like it's gonna be a pretty decent company to work for. We'll just, yeah, I'm gonna say no. Let's see, what else do I need? So I'm getting down to fabricators, computer components, and non-lethal weapons. Actually, I might already have the non-lethal weapons, come to think of it. Can't remember if I picked those up or not. Emergency power cells, I've got a lot. So this should be the last round that we need. Take a look. And then the steel and all of that. Let's see, do I have non-lethal? I do not. Okay. Yeah, the metals, I'm not even worried about the metals right now. I'm gonna need this 6,700 aluminum, 10,000 steel, and 5,600 titanium. So yeah, that's my little site that I use says it's 18.54 runs. So that's not happening tonight. Could I do it in one night if I really wanted to? If I really wanted to sit here and do it all night, I could. But do I really feel like doing that? I do not. I'm good. I'll peck away at that as best as I can. I am gonna fill up whatever's left in my hold, because this run is not going to be anywhere nearly close to filling up this Panther. So I'll fill up whatever's extra with either some extra emergency power cells or some steel. We'll see. I've been trying to make a habit, right, that anytime I do a big run like this, I never leave without my Panther like full. So if I'm done with everything that I need, then load up on some extra stuff that I want. EPCs are always good because those can only be found at the Trailblazers or a very limited number of systems kind of close to the center of the bubble, right? So if you're wanting to eventually make a big chain out somewhere, you can build most everything yourself. But the EPCs are the one thing you're going to have to haul out from the bubble itself, no matter where in the galaxy you are. So if I can just go ahead and get like a few hundred of those onto my FC and just have those sitting there for when they're needed, cool. Then I can go out wherever I want to go. Because that's the other thing too, is like we don't know what all they might eventually change. You know, I don't anticipate them really changing a whole lot. It seems like even with all of the good things that have happened in Elite, it seems like FDev is still FDev, and they like to introduce these new systems and then just kind of leave them be, lost and forgotten, and whatever happens, happens, right? So I don't anticipate them changing anything in the near future, but you never know. It seems like they're turning over a new leaf, so it could be that one day they get rid of the 15 light year limit, right? And yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. So you don't know what the future holds. So basically, just to make sure if that ends up being the case, you've got some stuff ready to go on your FC. You can just kind of bring it wherever you want. And thankfully, EPCs are not really the kind of thing you need in huge amounts of bulk. Anywhere from 150 to 300 is going to be enough for most bases out there. So, you know, if you've got a couple Panther Clippers full, you know, that's a lot. You're going to be able to build a lot of bases with just 2 full loads of these things. So, yeah, if you got an FC, throw them on there. Fill up your entire hold before you leave the Trailblazer systems. You never know how hard it's going to be to get back in. So, you know, keep that in mind. But aside from that, things have been going okay. I feel like all of my colonies are in a pretty decent position. I don't think I'm gonna have a whole lot that I need to worry about anytime soonish. Okay, so I need fabricators. Take a look. I still use the disco pages. If you don't know what that is, it's like a disco, not like the music. It's disgo.pages.dev/colony builder. And it's been good to me. I know there's a lot of different colony builders that you can use out there. This one's like one of the more basic ones. And honestly, that's all that I need. A lot of the other ones are almost too much. They have almost too many features to the point that it's like the UX isn't very good and I can't really tell what's going on in a lot of them. This one's just a basic spreadsheet. It unfortunately does not do the math for you, so I have to have my calculator out the entire time. But you can save between sessions and all kinds of stuff. You just gotta make new bookmarks each time. But yeah, you can save everything. And it makes it easy. All right, do I want to bring in copper? Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in some copper here. I mean, I guess I can bring some steel instead of EPCs, but I kind of want to just load up on EPCs. And then, like I said, all the metals I can get elsewhere. Because yeah, like this right here, 614, that'll get me at least 2 or 3 bases. And that's on top of the other, I don't know, I've got another 500 or something like that sitting around. I gotta check. Cool. Clear my paint. Nice. All right. So let's get back there. Let's set the my FC on its timer. God knows what it's going to be like this weekend. It hasn't been that bad this week, but man, with it being Saturday night, who knows? Who knows? We'll just have to look. I'm doing this first, by the way, before I route, because for whatever reason, it's such a dumb thing that if it's like on the other side of the planet, then it gives you that error, and then you can't like jump in and out of Super Cruise. I don't know why it does that. So yeah, go into Super Cruise first and then plot if you know that the path is on the other side of a planet. There you go. And then we'll hop into Mandalay. We'll hop into Mandy and go. We'll probably beat it there and go check out the stuff that we've been building, because it's been a lot. And I think I did a pretty decent job with a lot of it. I'm pretty happy with how things worked. Most of the systems that I build, I don't really worry too much about where I build things. Not in terms of economy, but in terms of like aesthetics. But my tourism base, I did try and find some like cool places to like build my tourism settlements and my city and that kind of thing. So there's been quite a few. There was a lot of flying around trying to find the perfect spot. Most of the time, I don't care. No one's gonna ever visit that weird extraction site down on a planet. They might go and try pulling the plug if they're doing BGS stuff one day. But I don't think they're really going to be worried too much about where it's located or what the view's like. But the tourism stuff, I did work on that. I did try and find some decent spots. All right, let's see. Now the other thing is, for everyone else that's building like their own hubs, if you're trying to build like a CMM surface port, please, I am begging you, I am begging you, stop building them on the craters that are at the poles. It sounds like a very dumb thing until you're trying to do this over and over again. Because your FCs typically don't have a place to park when it's around a pole. So it makes it, it's been making it very difficult for me to get CMMs, because I'm always having to go like around half of a planet trying to find the stupid port. This one, I did try and do my best to make sure that it was like somewhere like in the middle band, so I'm not going around all over the place. There we go. Yeah, like all of my neighbors, all of their surface ports that have CMMs, they're always at the pole. And I'm like, man, like it looks cool being in that big crater that's on a lot of planets, but it's so hard to get to. Why would you do this to yourself? All right. Let's hop in the old CGV, Jane Goodall, RIP. He was very influential to younger me and led to some cool experiences doing some research for some Nat Geo exhibits and stuff over the years. So I was very, very sad to see that she passed, but you know, she lived way more of a life than I think the average person gets to. So it's just you know, we're running out of people that are just genuinely curious about the world, I think. There's people that genuinely just want to see everything the planet has to offer. And she was definitely, they don't make them like her these days. but yeah, she was the namesake of my exploration Mandalay from day one. So it feels only appropriate to take this one out and go check out what all we've been building. All right, how many jumps is this gonna be anyways? 5? Man, I'm a little further out than I thought. It did say the jump was successful, right? I think it did. Like I'm right at that border where it's just about out of range. I'm at about the 500 light year range. So we'll see. We'll see. Might get there and be waiting a bit. That's all right. I'll probably unload off stream. But I at least want to kind of show you the progress, because you know we did a couple of streams of building some of this stuff, so you guys should at least be allowed to see how things turned out, right? I think it turned out well. We're gonna visit the tourism system first. Go visit the old tourism sector. I'm very proud of it. There's still a couple of things that I can round out the station with, or the system with. I'm just waiting for some more arcs so I can name another bar. Got out of here. Our squadron has a token name for all of our bar stations. So yeah, I gotta get to my 5,000 arcs again before I finish building that one out. But hopefully, if once I get it done, and it really won't be hard. Space bars only take really one load on an FC, and you're done. Right? They're super small. Yeah. Once I get 5,000, we'll have another franchise location out here on the other side of the bubble from our normal space. Slow down a bit here. Scoop it up. Good enough. Let's go. I love the Mandy. Look at this. We're just still scooping and we're already charging. Still nowhere close to being overheated. I love the Mandy. I have heard good things about the Cobra 5. Or like being a small explorer. I'm not a big fan of the Cobras and the Asps at all. Or the crates. Really any of them that look like weird frisbees. They're just not my design. But people have been saying some good things about it. And I don't know. Maybe I'll get one. Maybe I'll add it to the list. I mean, I probably get more use out of it than I do my FDL. So that's fine. I did take my Dolphin out the other day because I do really like the Dolphin. It doesn't get enough love now that we've got all these new ships. Which I am kind of curious if maybe the one after the T11 isn't going to be a new South Kruger. I would like one. Like, the Saudkrugers are always interesting because they don't really have a whole lot of uses. But I feel like no one really hates them. Like, I feel like everyone's kind of like, yeah, the Saudkrugers are kind of neat ships. It's just, we have no use for them. But they're cool looking. They're very nice. So I wouldn't mind seeing like a passenger overhaul or a medium Saudkruger. I think that'd be kind of cool. Feel like they're kind of running out of new ships to add now that they've got a minor available. Passengers are really about the only thing that's left at this point. All right, but yes, this is our tourism one. I was originally going to do like this whole idea of having like the tourism spots up here, and then this would be like the underground halls of Disneyland, right? And this would be where they where all of the manufacturing and stuff would be. But because everything here is basically weak links, if I did do that, then all of this stuff down here would affect all of this stuff up here, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'm not doing anything with that. I don't think anything down here. Yeah, see, they've got the biological stuff. Got some space farms and stuff. But we've got, inshallah, there we go. We got my asteroid base that I am working on right now, trying to see if I can get this converted into being a tourism asteroid base, which I do not know is possible, but we're going to try it. And most everything down here has geologicals, which does have a boost to tourism stuff. So I want to give it a try. I want to see if I can make it work. But also I'm kind of tired of building surface ports, so, you know, there's that. But we're going to head over here first and try this out. I've also got I can't remember if that's an Oculus or an Orbis, but that's a T3 that someday I'll get it done. We're going to head here because this is a cool planet. The only downside to this is that originally this system had NSPs. And unfortunately, colonizing does destroy the NSPs. I was hoping that it wouldn't, because they are technically their own instance, right? Just like an FC and all of that is. But it did destroy the NSPs. I hope they find a way to bring them back. I know there's a big bug report that is listed in their little bug forum. So if you are also wanting to see NSPs back in colonized systems, make sure and go and upvote that one. Because that was half the reason that I made this into a tourism base. I originally wasn't gonna do it, but it had the NSPs, it had the water world, it had some cool geologicals. So I was like, yeah, I want to try and turn this into a tourism system. But yeah, the NSPs got destroyed. So yeah, now I don't know. It'll just have to be a regular tourism system, even though there's really not a whole lot of other cool stuff to look at now that the NSPs are gone. You got a water world, I guess. It's kind of neat. Not like those are hard to find. Ugh, stop. It's also really annoying me with that. There we go. Yeah, we've got Dino Venture. We've got the Dino Hospitality Zone. Friend Legacy, which I wanted to have that one named also Dino, but I couldn't get it to pull up. And then Russo Boarding Zone in honor of my squad's leader, Cameron Russo. There we go. Anytime Russo pops up, that's just like an instant click to the rename. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how Dino Venture turned out. It's our surface port. It's kind of interesting because I've built up enough of that second level of planets that it actually does sell a fair amount of things. It does sell a decent amount. All right. Like normally tourism sites, they don't really sell a whole lot. It's like bio waste and hydrogen fuel and kind of like the most bog standard of bog standard systems, right? But we actually do have a fair amount here that's sold because of everything else that's going on with it. So economic wise, like it's actually turned out pretty good. The asteroid base, I need to figure out what to do with that, because I really want to get it converted to actually selling more than just the raw materials. But it's got a few other things that are kind of surprising. And it's got it in a fair amount. What's my pop here anyways? Yeah, 8.6 million. So still kind of medium. I thought it would be a lot more than that. But yeah, it's nowhere close. Not even remotely close to the Earth-like world. Now, to be fair, the Earth-like system, I did start with a Coriolis instead of just a regular outpost. So if I ever did eventually get that T3 built here, it probably would be king. But yeah, I mean, you can see we've got a fair amount of things. Plenty of water purifiers. Some of the stuff that's most of the time kind of annoying to get turns out to be not too bad here. We even got computer components, which is a bit of a surprise. Yeah, it's a cool little base. All right, but yeah, this planet, I made it the main one, not just because it's got a bunch of slots. It was really the only one that had more than 2 surface spots available. This planet also has geysers and lava spouts. So it seemed like Dino Venture and dinosaur friendly names just seemed like it was meant to be, right? I don't think we can see a whole lot from the bar here, because I built this kind of on top of that little mountain, right? It was a nice little scenic vista. But the actual tourism sites, those all are like right in the middle of some lava pits and things. It's kind of neat. If you want to go out and take your SRV around, you can go get blown up. Yeah, I got a nice view here. The other day, I don't know. That's Frontline, Apex. I don't know if it's still selling them, but if you were looking, let's take a look. Here we go. Purchase suits, does it still have it? I ended up buying it. So yeah, it did. It could just be me. I don't know how all of this stuff is saved across instances. But it did have a T3 Dominator suit and T3 Manicore Executioner yesterday. So I don't know if that's saved across instances or what. So I mean, you can always check it out. But yeah, I did see that pop up and bought the Dominator. So what else do I need? I need titanium plating and stuff. But for whatever reason, it wasn't letting me trade. Maybe I need to put in my Maverick suit. I think I'm in my Dominator right now. Maybe I should just not worry about it. I haven't done anything ground related in a bit. Ere you come to my magical realm. All my lava pits. Come on down. Come on down. Dare you enter Russo's territory. Okay. Oh, that is killing my frame rate. What is going on right now? But yeah, there's Dino Venture. Pretty cool looking, don't you think? I think it looks neat. Like I said, I actually put in some thought into like where I was going to place all of my ground stuff this time. My other systems don't expect it to like have anything all that interesting to look at. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. It really wasn't bad until like 2 weeks ago. And then whatever's happened, whatever they did with the past couple of updates just killed my frames anytime I'm on surfaces. So let's get back out. Let's go back out into the air. Get away from here. Hopefully clean this up a bit. God, it's so bad. We were having this problem last time on stream too. Like, I'm sure OBS isn't helping. Like, I haven't really touched a whole lot of my settings in months. And then just the past couple of patches, I've just been overboard with the frame drops. I don't know what happened, because like they had fixed it. It was looking so good for quite a while there, and then they broke something again. Okay. Let's see. Where is Russo boarding zone? There we go. Yeah, it's got a lot of signals and stuff. I haven't really like done anything with the other signals. I know that like some of them are decent for, I don't know, like trying to get encoded mats. A couple of them you can like go fight some dudes. I don't know a whole lot about how all that works. But if you do need things like that, you've got options. Okay. Once I get back out into space, it should clean up our rate quite a bit. And our carrier jumps complete. Nice. Very nice. Where? Ah! I didn't mean to do that. Okay, that's fine. You know, at this point, maybe I just need to jump to a new system. maybe we won't be able to take a look at the Dino, the Dino boarding hub. Is this a set? Yeah, this is a settlement. Okay. All right, let's get back into orbit here. I don't want to enter orbit. There we go. I want to see where my tourism settlement is. There we go. Actually, where's Russo? I think Russo's the cooler looking one personally. Built it like in a crater. Whee! Actually, might be able to land elsewhere. Yeah, maybe I'll land elsewhere and take out the old SRV. Assuming my computer doesn't die attempting it. Here we go. Yeah, I think it's a pretty neat little base. Because yeah, like I was saying, this one actually has like some of the geysers and lava spouts and that kind of thing around it. So it looks pretty cool. Some of them are a little bit further out. Like you have to go up onto that little hill. Yeah, let's take a look. They don't really show up until you're about like 100 meters from the ground. We'll see. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to do once you get to these settlements. The RP, I guess, if you can manage to find someone else that actually plays it. It is weird. Like I mentioned, I'll talk about this game in like some of my other discords, like my FF14 discords. Like everyone in my gamer circle typically knows of Elite, but they're like, wow, people still play that game. They don't really realize that it's still around. It's still, we're still trying. We're doing our best. Yeah, I gotta see. Cool. Some cool lava spouts out there. I think it's a pretty neat settlement. Built out here in the crater, so yeah. I mean, it feels like a tourism zone, right? Like, hey, come on down. Go do some backcountry lava skiing or whatever you want to do. All right. That being said, got that done. I don't think they don't really sell anything here, do they? Settlements don't really have a whole lot, if I remember right. We can take a look. Yeah, so they don't really offer a whole lot of really anything. All right. At least not until you like get some of the bigger ports that are supported by tourism. Because usually these tourism stuff, if you're going to build one, you're probably going to be building one in a system that's kind of unique anyways. And a lot of times you're going to get some like weak links from other parts of that system. Not just from your bases, but just from like the uniqueness of the planets, right? Like they'll have geologicals, or maybe you got a water world there or something like that. So, you know, you can usually get a fairly interesting spread. All right, so let's go check out the one we saw on the last stream that we did. Because this is our Earth-like world, and so far it doesn't have a whole lot built in it, but I did finish that Coriolis. So we'll go check it out. It's pretty neat. It's my first tourism base. Very interesting because like this system, even though it's a tourism system now, it originally started as high tech. Like whenever you throw something up around a water world or an Earth-like world, like they have a bunch of different things that they get a boost to. It's like agriculture, high tech, tourism, and I think military is the last one or something. So it's just kind of a rolling of the dice on what the primary economy is going to be. And somehow this one ended up as a tourism, even though it's not really a tourism system with everything with what I've got built in it so far. Yeah, I rolled England Penal Colony as the name, and like, yeah, that's staying. I see you, Brits. This is what you deserve. This is where you belong. This is for Australia nerds. But because it's England, they get, you know, their penal colony has tennis courts and a beach inside, so go figure. Why not? But I think it looks nice. It turned out okay, and it sells a pretty good variety. It's already got like a little bit of a high-tech boost, so I've been kind of able to pick at a few things here and there. I'd really like to build it out a little bit more and get a lot of the like really kind of rare stuff. But I'm not super like concerned about it for now. I think most everything that I want to get, I can get fairly easily, like within range. But yeah, it's got like my HE suits, and I think robotics I can get here if I want some robotics. So it's a little of everything. It's just not a whole lot of it. And eventually with some of the other stuff I'll build out in here, I will hopefully be able to get like my steel and all of that. All right. And I'm not just going here just to show you guys, I'm also trying to get all of my Inara stuff updated too, so good old EDD. Getting that running in the background, you know, this is what our squad does. It's a lot of jumping between systems every day and getting everything updated for the sheets. Trying to make sure our influence isn't getting like something weird going on. It does get kind of wild. It's I don't think there's a whole lot of issues we've had with people just like purposely doing BGS stuff. It's all been like power play and colonization. Just like trading, or people trying to undermine, and you know, they made a big hullaboo that like power play's not gonna affect BGS, you shouldn't have to worry. And it does. It does affect BGS. Believe us. We know. Yeah, this is the penal colony for the English. There you go. Such a struggle, right? Such a struggle to live in these conditions. Yeah, I do like them a lot. I'm very happy that I've got a tourism base even if it's not in the tourism system. I don't know why. I don't know why it ended up being like this. How we doing? Okay. So far, so good. None of you guys are my colonies, are they? Doesn't look like it. I think it should be all right. It's just double checking. Like I said, I think at this point, BGS is just kind of like, there's a few people fighting over like some of the central systems in the bubble, but for the most part, it seems like people are pretty chill and leaving colonies alone, which is how it should be. I mean, even if you wanted to try doing something, then, you know, the architect could come in and delete all of your settlements if they felt like it. So, yeah, best just to let them lie, right? Yeah, you can see it's got a lot of stuff, and it's all in really, really good amounts. So, yeah, I think if I can come back here and backfill some of the stuff that I've got under construction, I think it'll be an interesting system. It's just it wasn't quite what I wanted at first. I was originally going to make this my tourism base, but like none of these things have really anything interesting. They're all just icy rocks. I don't think really a whole lot of geologicals or anything. There's a couple that have them. Then you get over here and like all of these are just kind of like nothing. So yeah, we'll just turn these into a bunch of refineries and whatever else I happen to have at my whims. Like all the really interesting stuff over here, none of it's landable, no surface slots. So yeah, it's nice to have an Earth-like. In terms of population, it does make a big difference in terms of population having something around an Earth-like world, but it was not a system that I could really think of anything to do anything interesting with. So we're just going to make it pure population and high tech, and just have this be a nice system that sells a lot of things. And then, you know, if you want to buy things for your own colonies, you're forced to see the Earth-like. There you go. That's right, witness me. Or even is it? Weird thing is, I think it's on the shadowed side of the planet. Kind of weird like that. Yeah, where are you? Where are you? Can we even see your beauty? No, of course not. Like, I think they are supposed to orbit, right? Like, they actually do go around the planet. So I think eventually this thing will go to the sunny side. I don't know. I feel like when I was building it, it was on the sunny side. I don't know what happened. That's fine. I've got plans to eventually put a T3 here and just see what that does. Try and just make this a population system. Just try and boost it as much as I can. Yeah, give me that lensing. Give me that atmospheric lensing. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. It's so pretty. I love you. I love you, Earth-like. Cool. That being said, I think it's time to head over to the actual system we're working on. Another hip system. It's interesting. I can't say it's not. It's like not like super cool. It's not like one of those cool hip systems that have like a black hole and white dwarf and all of that cool stuff, right? But goodbye. I'll be back. See you again soon. But it does have this planet that I'm working on with like the 5 slots. It's like 2.3 G gravity. And it's a big rock. It's a big rock. And it's got geysers and lava spouts too, so it's kind of cool. So it's just going to be nothing but refineries. I'm just going to load the thing up. And then hopefully the surface port will eventually get some CMMs. I should probably take a look and just make sure that that's really all you need. And kind of go from there. We can SCO it. It's the Mandy. It'll stop on a dime if I wanted to. Corkscrew. I overshot. That's fine. Spoke too soon. Yeah, it is a chunky boy. It's big. Big. Take a look how big is it? It's like something like 5 Earth masses, if I remember right. I was very surprised that I could land on it. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good size, I'd say. I think it's definitely the biggest that I've got colonized that I can land on. I mean, it's far from like the biggest one in any colonized space. I'm sure someone's got one that's like 20 Gs or something like that. Knowing some of the explorers out there, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think I can make something useful with it. Eventually pop a Coriolis above it, and hopefully get a nice little market going. It'll probably be my steel and metals hub. Use those gas giants back there and pop out some extraction platforms and try and feed those into the other stuff. Yeah, how am I doing? I think I got 1 mining station up. I also need to fix this bug, because this looks like it's supposed to be an orbital station, but it's not. It's just it's a mining satellite. It's just one of the little ones. See? So yeah, I wish they would change the icon so I don't get confused. Also, if you did not notice from the last update, this is really handy if you're trying to keep track of your spreadsheets and all of that. You can actually see how much you need of everything from the Gal map, and it's not just total. You can actually go in and like choose which thing. This is maybe one of the best UI updates they have added in a very long time. It's also partially why it's probably slowing down so much every time you visit the Gal map. But yeah, this is really, really handy. I hated having to like go into the system map once I had actually reached Trailblazer, and then having to go through and try and remember how much everything was. So yeah, you can very quickly go through here and see how much you need of things. Very, very, very handy. So take advantage of that if you're doing a lot of hauling. But yeah, that being said, I think that'll do it for tonight. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about unloading all of this until later. I'll do that after a couple cups of coffee. I literally came home from work for my last shift today and started up the stream, so I haven't really even had a chance to like get my caffeine, right? But I wanted to stream because we haven't streamed a whole lot lately, and we're going to be entering a new schedule, so I wanted to kind of let you guys know that I'm still around. We're still going to be doing this. It's going to be an adjustment, but we're still here, and we're going to continue doing things and continue growing as best we can. It's just going to be probably a little bit. This outstanding fine. Why do I have a fine? What am I fine for? Oh, Pro JDP League. Looks like I'm worried about those nerds. I got rid of you guys 4 systems ago. It's all frog now, baby. Ugh. But yeah, so we'll probably be streaming the next couple of days and having some fun and try to make up for lost time as much as I can in between the in between training and all of that for the new gig. But you know, like I was saying, this is what I want to be doing. So continue to like and subscribe and watch when you can, share, tell your friends, and hopefully we can avoid having to ever work for another company, and we can just do this full time, because I'm nothing but a monkey dancing on strings for you all. I like it that way. It's what I was. It's one of the only things I'm built for. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kind of hang out and chill for the rest of the night. So thanks a ton for stopping in. And, you know, if you are having some fun with the T11, have fun with the CG. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do, if we'll hop into FF Final Fantasy X, or maybe do some more EverQuest or something like that. But we'll just kind of play it by ear, kind of see how we're feeling. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Be careful, and good night, everybody. Bye-bye.